welcome back to Way of Yao. It is a pleasure to see you all. How is everybody? I hope you are doing well. As you can tell from the title of this video, we will be doing something a little bit different to what I usually do. Recently I've been doing a lot of tutorials and stuff like that, but I've come to the conclusion that a lot of my looks are a little bit overwhelming and it's going to take a little bit of time to ease you in. So I've decided to create a how-to series where step by step each week I'll basically tell you how I create each step. And I know that how-tos, you know, a lot of people have done how-tos, but Yao hasn't done them. So it is going to be something a little bit different because, you know, each artist has their own unique style of basically creating a face. And so that is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to start off with the brows. And of course, each week will be a different step. One step will be how to, you know, highlight and contour, especially on dark skin as well. I think it's something that is really needed. And some of you did also comment in my most recent video, which was the Fenty contour review, that you would like to see me basically talk about all things contour for dark skin. And I think certain videos like that are really important. And so I'm here to deliver the content. And I just hope you guys really like this series. If you're not already a part of the family, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button. And make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you would like to see next and if you actually like the idea of this series. I will try to do in between looks here and there and tutorials and stuff like that, just to break it up a little bit. So we might be getting 2 uploads per week at times, you never know. So let me know what you guys would like to see and if you are enjoying this series. And without further ado, let's get into this tutorial. So the way that I'm going to structure this video will be like this. On one side I'm going to show you how I do my everyday face full beat waterproof eyebrow, and on one side I'm going to be showing you the eyebrow that I do on a general day-to-day, you know, just doing some grocery shopping and nothing too deep. So we're going to be showing you both of them. But before I get into that, I do want to let you guys know that I do actually have microblading on my eyebrows. So I had microblading twice. My first one was maybe a year and a half ago, and then my other one was maybe 6 months to a year ago, I believe. And I'll definitely say that I'm happy with, you know, microblading because they do actually help you with your process. It allows you to have a bit of a structure. Majority of my hair starts here, so all of this here is actually microblading, and the bulk of the hair finishes about here. So my brow is more of this sort of shape, but I had the microblading go down here because I love a long brow. I don't know, I just love a long brow, a nice defined structured brow. I don't like brows that just stop here. It's like, it's not flattering on the face, in my opinion. For me, everybody's different, everyone's gonna like something different. So I'm gonna take the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in the shade Black from ELF, and I'm going to sketch out the outline of the brow. I like to go just a little bit underneath the brow, and that way it gives me room to actually play and adjust the brow afterwards. Because if you start off with a brow that's too thin, it's difficult to make it thicker, especially once you've gone ahead and concealed around them. I make sure that I don't moisturize the area that I will be filling in my brows. When you do that, it makes it into a more slippery surface, and the pencil will struggle to really adhere to the skin and stay in place. Now I'm gonna go ahead and take my Makeup Forever Water Resistant Aqua Brow. This is in their darkest shade. And I go ahead and place it on the back of my hand, like that. This way I'm able to control the amount that I actually put onto the brow. And this product is amazing. When I say that it is waterproof, I mean it. Next, I'm going to be taking this brush from Model's Own. This is a angled brow brush. It's very thin. I've had this brush for actually some years now. I literally bought like 3 or 4 of them. One thing that drew me to them is that they are super, super affordable. I don't know if Model's Own is still around, but they had a store in Stratford, which I visited, and I absolutely loved the fact that they were so affordable, yet worked really, really well. And so I'm gonna be using this and dipping that into a bit of the gel, and bit by bit, I'm going to fill in the brow. I'm gonna start off at the end, and that way I can kind of almost ombre it into the beginning of the brow. A lot of people often ask how I end up with that ombre effect. Well, I shall show you. At one point, I actually had a little bit of Botox put in my forehead, but to be honest with you, I don't think it actually did anything because my brows were still able to move after. I got it done so that I wouldn't be able to move my brows like this, because sometimes when I'm explaining myself, I find it very natural to raise my brows without even thinking about it. When I reach the beginning of the brow, I just kind of blend it like that with any excess. Take a finger and you can kind of just smudge where it begins. So now we need to carve out the brow. As you know, when it comes to a nice intense brow, we always carve it out, and I'm going to be taking the Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer from Revolution, and this is in the shade C14.5. It is quite a bit lighter than my skin tone. As you can see, I go in with quite a light concealer when I'm doing an intense brow, because I typically will then go in with, you know, heavy eyeshadow and a beat face, a lot of concealer and contour. Whereas with a really more natural brow, as you guys will see, I do very little carving out, and I definitely don't go in with a shade as light as this. But like with my other product, I'm going to be taking it on the back of my hand like that. Once again, to control the amount that I'm actually going to be placing underneath the brow. And now, a brush that I've been loving recently is this one from Blank Canvas. They sent me a bunch of their brushes quite some time ago, and so I was giving them a go, and this one is perfect. I used to use a brow brush from Morphe, but I don't know where it's gone. I've literally not seen it in like a year. This is the E44. Kind of mark out roughly, just messily, what we're gonna do. When you're doing any part of your makeup, you don't want to be covering your vision. So you kind of try to do it like that, opposed to doing it like that. Your hand is now in your face. So, I'm gonna go ahead and take the concealer and just now lift it up and perfect. And me personally, I end up readjusting my brow so much that I just find that doing my brows after I've completed my makeup, I just don't understand how people do their brows last. I just can't do that. I always start off with my brows because it takes me the longest, and it's the one part of my face that needs the most correcting. So now we need to go ahead and cut above the brow. I've just found that when you cut below the brow, it makes sense to do above the brow. It helps you to define your shape, and it just gives it a more cohesive look. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Hydrating Camo Concealer from e.l.f. and this is in the shade Rich Walnut. This is a very natural looking concealer. It is more of a watery concealer, so it's not gonna be too heavy, and so it still allows the concealer above your brow to blend out into your foundation quite easily. So this is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, however, you can still use it on a natural brow as well. Once again, placing it on the back of my hand as so. And I'm going to be taking this brush, which is somewhat similar to the brush I used below the brow. They're both quite flat. However, this one is flatter on top in order to really cut and carve out below the brow. The roundedness on top is going to help it to just sweep over the arch of the brow. By the way, the brush that I'm using is from Hank and Henry, and it is called Nicole. What I'm gonna go and do next is take these two brushes. This one is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is the A7 brush, and I'm gonna use this to blend out the concealer above my brow. Why am I gonna use this one? Because it's slightly more fluffy, it's thicker, it's more dispersed. You just wanna really blend it and buff it into the skin so that when you put your foundation down, it has something to just blend into easily. Whereas I'm gonna go in with this tighter brush. It's a lot more dense, it's shorter, because I need something that's gonna really home in on a particular space, which is under the brow, which is a lot of a smaller space here. I'm just gonna go ahead and buff it out in circular motions wherever that light concealer is. The reason why I use separate brushes for the two operations is because I don't want the colours of concealer to blend together. I kind of want to maintain the brightness underneath the brow and maintain a skin tone. Perfect. Now blending out the top, I also like to take the brush and blend out where the brow begins, and that way you get more of a ombre effect. As you can see, it is a lot more seamless to blend into the brow, so I just kind of go in like that, and any excess product will actually go in and diffuse where the brow begins. Perfect. So now that the brow is finished, I'm gonna go ahead and show you on the other side how I achieve a lot more of a natural look, an everyday sort of brow, you know, picking the kids up, doing some grocery shopping. So let's go ahead and get into this brow. Now to start off with, I want to create a little bit of definition just so that I have a shape to work with, but I don't want it to be too harsh, so I'm not going to go ahead and do an outline. Instead, I'm going to take a brow mascara. There are a few different options that you can choose from. Personally, I like the Incredibrow from Collection, and I also like the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow mascara as well, but for the sake of this video I am going to be using this one. It's slightly darker, more pigmented, and you're going to be able to see a lot better what it is actually doing to the brow. And this is in the shade Granite, and just to show you what it looks like, very small in comparison to this one especially. This one is more like a regular sized mascara, whereas this one is very small and it can really catch those fine hairs. And it actually has fibers on it as well, which is going to really help to give it a more natural appearance. So I just go ahead, get some product on there, and I start just combing it through the brow hairs in an upward motion, just sticking in those hairs a bit. And already the brow is starting to look fuller. So in the areas where it needs a little bit more coverage, I go ahead and actually drag the wand along the skin so that there's a little bit more colour payoff. Now what I love about this e.l.f. pencil is that it's really good for creating a defined shape, but you can also use it to fill in any areas because of how fine and micro the tip is. So I'm just going to take it into any really fine areas, and I'm really pressing down lightly. I'm not even really pressing down, it's literally just catching the skin. I'm sure a lot of you guys will actually prefer the look of this brow. Let me know down below which brow you prefer for yourself, and also the brow that you prefer for me, because I definitely say that this one, for like an everyday look, I do really like this, but I often feel incomplete unless my brows look like this. I'm going to be taking the same e.l.f. concealer because, like I said earlier, you can actually use it for a natural brow as well because it's still quite close to my skin tone. And instead of taking the flat brush that I used before to give it quite a harsh defined look, you can take any brush that has a little bit of fluff to it and just literally dip it into a little bit of that concealer there and just kind of brush it underneath the brow. Dust it under there like that and just take it up to the brow a little bit, and that is that. And I'm not going to take any concealer above the brow because the second you start to do that, it starts to give it more of an unnatural look. Where the hairs just naturally fly up, you want to leave them there. So basically these are the two brows complete. You've got the Insta brow, you've got the oh mama I'm about to beat this mug, do the rest of the face, and then you've got the picking up the kids, doing the grocery shopping. You know how we do it, darling. I will definitely say if you do the Insta brow, you need to do the face. You will look crazy walking around with these defined brows on your face, like just going out and about, it will look a little bit nuts. And I've done it once before and it was not cute, and I've seen people do it, not cute, never again. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this how-to video, and I hope you are anticipating the next one. It would really help me if you guys let me know down below what you would like to see in the next one. Contour is definitely coming up as a future video, so don't worry, that will come at some point. What I might do is actually find some more contour so that when I'm ready to go full in-depth on contour, I have quite a few different options to show you guys. But let me know what you would like to see for my next video. It might be, you know, how to get the perfect base, how to do the perfect, you know, highlight, how to do the perfect lip, because you guys know that I have my own signature lip style that I do all the time. So let me know if you guys want to know how to do that and certain things like that, and even as an eyeshadow base, because as you know, I use liquids and creams and lipsticks as my eyeshadow base, so that would also make for a really cool video, which are all coming up in the future. But just let me know what you would like to see next. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy it. It shows your support, helps to rank the video higher, and just lets me know that this is content that you are interested in. And ciao from now.